What is going on, guys? So today, September 7th, is Labor Day. For most people, it's a day out from work, day out from school. You don't have to do much today. You know, it's Monday, you can watch Raw tonight, but it doesn't mean much to a lot of people, but to me, it means a lot. So basically, September 7th is my birthday. That's always fun, but that's not the only thing. Basically, the last time Labor Day and my birthday were on the same day was back in 2009. So let's rewind a couple months from there. And I heard that Monday Night Raw, WWE Monday Night Raw, the show that I watch every single week, the brand that I watch all the pay-per-views for when I stream them, because I'm a kid, I can't buy the pay-per-views. I don't have a job. I don't think it's legal for kids to have a job. Anyway, I would watch No Mercy 2007 DVD so much, WrestleMania 23 DVD so much, Raw, SmackDown, ECW, Saturday Night's Main Event when that was when they brought that back. I was so invested in this. I was a huge fan, and all I wanted to do was go to Monday Night Raw when I heard that it was coming to the Allstate Arena in Rosemont, Illinois. And I talked to my parents, I talked to my grandma, and basically we bought tickets. It was my birthday present, and it was awesome. So it was me, my dad, my brother, and my grandpa. And we were going to go to Raw that happened to be on my birthday, and we had the day off from school. You can't get better than that, people. So basically, fast forward to that day, and actually the week before, because they had the gimmick where they would have like a guest host, they announced who the guest host was going to be. And if you don't know this, well, up until the time he left the show, Bob Barker and The Price is Right were two of my favorite things next to wrestling. I loved The Price is Right. Me and my grandpa used to watch that show all the time. Just Bob Barker, I always wanted to meet him. I always wanted to see him. I always wanted to go to The Price is Right. I just loved that show for whatever reason. And they announced that Bob Barker was going to be live at Monday Night Raw as the special guest host. I was marking out because that was two things getting knocked out on my bucket list, which was probably drawn in a colored pencil or something. It was awesome. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, Bob Barker and Raw, my first Raw, my first WWE show, and I was going to see Bob Barker. So that was awesome. We go to Raw, and we wait in line. Then finally we get inside. I buy. Well, did I buy the CM Punk? No, I had my CM Punk wristbands that I got earlier that day as a present, along with my John Cena, I think he wore it at WrestleMania 24 jersey, like the orange and brown thing. And then I bought it looks like the John Deere hat, but it's a Cena green and yellow, like, trucker hat. I don't know what you call it. It's just a hat. So I bought that at the show, along with the John Cena autograph we got. Yeah, and the program. Wow, I bought a lot of stuff. But basically, they were dubbing this Raw The Price is Raw because Bob Barker's going to be there. When we got in, our seats were awesome. They were hard cam, well, non-TV side, whatever, and it was like not along the ramp, but like the first section. I guess if you remember how they set up the Price is Raw thing, if you're looking at the contestants, it was to the right. So that was the fun thing. And like, it was just so cool to see all that set up. And then, like, when the show started, you had Superstars and all that, which on Superstars, Sheamus was having either a dark match, or he was having something. I think he was having a dark match. He didn't make his debut yet. And I remember everyone booing him, and I was like, that guy looks cool. Like, I could be a fan of him. Now we know. But it was so cool. The stage was awesome. The ring was awesome. I was marking out on the inside. I didn't know what marking out meant at the time. But Raw starts. You have Bob Barker come out. That was awesome. I remember the pyro. That went nuts. Like, that was crazy. Like, we were so close to the pyro. It was insane. And then the first thing was Jericho and Bob Barker basically kind of going at it. And then all Bob Barker wanted was a price for Jericho to say, and then he said, I think he said, "I am one half," and then immediately Bob Barker was like, "One." He picked one, and then that ended up to be the winning thing, which was that was funny, but it was just what was I gonna say? It was funny. But oh, I forgot to say this in the beginning. Basically, we made a sign. I made a sign that I had my brother hold up. It basically said "The price is raw." So remember that. Then, other than I wrote some things down just to remember. It was Chavo versus Evan Bourne. Evan Bourne. Woo. And the match ended with Hornswoggle coming out with a freaking squirt gun, and he just like went ham on Chavo. Like, it was the funniest thing ever. That was awesome. I was a huge fan of Hornswoggle. I still am to this day. That was awesome. So that was a thing. And then that was the time which that Raw was the go-home show to Breaking Point 2009. And if you remember that, Legacy was hot. DX was there, which, oh man, I'll talk about that in a second. Basically, one of the matches was John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, which one half of the Legacy. Which that ended with, I think, Orton coming down and RKOing Cena on a steel chair that was set up. So that's a thing. And then we get to the amazing part where when they were calling down contestants, because they had people set up, like I know Santino came through the crowd, a couple other people came through the crowd, and they showed the White Sox. They had Jermaine Dye, AJ Przinsky, someone else, and then I think Gordon Beckham. I forgot who the other person was. Gordon Beckham? Yeah, okay. So when Howard Finkel, when he was announcing, he said, it's an All-Star and World Series champion, AJ Przinsky or something like that. And so, like, he came out, he walked over, and he went by the thing, and, like, again, it was cool. Like, we had Bob Barker. You had my first Raw. I see AJ Przinsky in the White Sox. I was like, this was awesome. So, basically, Bob Barker, like, everyone was cheering. Either cheering or booing because, it's a split crowd for when it comes to baseball. And then AJ Przinsky, here's the cheers, and he raises his hands, and he's on the microphone. He's like, "Go White Sox, yes!" And then he like does one of these like the Finn Balor thing, and then the camera, which I didn't know this until afterward, the camera, you see it pan. Well, it's just like a cut, and you see me, you see my dad, you see my brother, and my brother's holding up the Price is Raw sign. And you can see me on the right side when you're watching the video, on the right side of the sign with my green and yellow Cena hat, and then I raise my hands, I got my Punk wristbands on, over my Jeff Hardy wristbands, got my Cena jersey, I got my DX glow sticks in my hand, and we were on Raw. It was awesome. I didn't know until afterward, but we were there. So I'll leave the link down below if you want to go watch that. Really, really cool moment, and just the whole thing was awesome. But it gets better, because you know why? Generation X, if I had the glow sticks with me, I'd do a little dance, but oh man, the fact that I got to see DX, like, I know, like it was just awesome. Like, I knew that CM Punk wasn't going to be on that show because he does SmackDown, at the time. So at least I got to see Shawn Michaels and Triple H, Generation X. It was awesome. I couldn't control myself. Like, it was awesome. The pyro, the break it down. Basically, DX had a match against Randy Orton and Chris Masters. I remember they spun the little wheel to pick the opponents. So it was Randy Orton versus Chris Masters. Orton with the I hear well, it wasn't. Was it I Hear Voices? It was. I think it was I Hear Voices. I Hear Voices. No, but and then Chris Masters came out with the pyro like on him. I don't know how he does that, but it was just. It was awesome. Let me tell you. And then I think what happened, because the match at Breaking Point was a fall or a submissions count anywhere match. So they like went into the back and like started to attack each other, and Legacy left. Like that was a thing. And then like they eventually came back out, and then I think Cena came out at a point, and it was DX with Cena, and then DX went around. And I almost like high-fived, I think, Triple H or Shawn Michaels, one of the two, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever because I was right next to Shawn Michaels. Little did I know, years later I'd meet him. It's another story for another time. Well, you know that, but yeah, like that was awesome. It was an awesome time. I really wanted to share that because I'm so fired up about it right now. But that is it. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna do this more often because this is really fun. Night of Champions is coming up. The first pay-per-view I went to was Night of Champions 2010. Story coming soon because these are fun to make. Thanks for watching. Talk to you guys later. Bam.